artificial intelligence, AI. Uh, Really what you're seeing all over the place right now is that there are large language models. An AI is a supercomputer that they call a large language model that they've basically trained to do certain actions. They've given it a ton of knowledge and the ability to learn on its own. So like whenever we are using ChatGPT, we're actually teaching ChatGPT to get better. It's just continually improving on itself. It's a computer that can learn. That's what you need to understand. And this large language model took a lot of time, energy, engineers to build. And OpenAI has created probably the biggest tool, ChatGPT, that we've already talked about. But they're also licensing themselves out to other companies to then use the same computer. So all the different softwares that you are using are probably already paying for a license with OpenAI. So, and they're just using it in a different way. So for example, QuickBooks is licensing OpenAI, the artificial intelligence that they have, to integrate directly inside of QuickBooks and do certain actions. And they're training the same large language model to do things inside of QuickBooks. And it's not just for QuickBooks, but it's all sorts of tools. It's inside of and Google has their own large language model called Baird. And Twitter just recently came out with one called Gronk or Gonk. I can't remember the name is. But basically there's going to be a handful of companies that are going to have some of the most popular large language models or AI computers. And then they're going to integrate directly into different tools. They're directly connected to the internet. So anytime an article is posted or academic journal, they're gathering that information and the AI is getting smarter and smarter. That's why we're seeing these huge leaps in terms of what it's able to do so fast.
Well,
So
I do
anyways,
have to mention, or Dumber and Dumber, depending on the quality of the academic articles, but that's just
yes.
an aside.
I
Hey,
listened to a podcast about that recently, but anyways, go ahead.
Well, there's an old saying that a lot of people out there are educated far beyond their intelligence. That's a saying around the oil fields. No, you mentioned that, just making it real again to people
Yeah,
like me. You said that QuickBooks licenses an artificial intelligence and uses it in certain applications. Well, if you
sure.
use QuickBooks, if you are a user and you see the bank feeds, you see that it tries to match up who you
Yeah,
paid, and that's an artificial intelligence function.
it is.
Have to say most people would agree that it's not really great yet. At
Well, that's the
least a
thing
lot
is
of it's gotta learn.
OpenAI is actually making it better.
Right.
I don't know if you've used some of it in QuickBooks yet, but it's a lot better. And you can pay for additional features with AI on almost every software out there, which basically covers their license fee with OpenAI, but it's getting tremendously better. And it's not just doing things like basically how you can chat with ChatGPT and ask it a question. You're going to be able to do that with basically every software, and it's already applicable. I'm not in QuickBooks every single day looking at it 8 hours a day, so I don't know all the functionality in QuickBooks, but I'm frequently in HubSpot, right? HubSpot is the CRM. It's where you keep
Right.
all of your customer information, where you keep your deals, any service tickets. You're going to have just so much information inside of there. And HubSpot licenses OpenAI, and they created something called ChatSpot. And basically, I can go into ChatSpot and I can ask, how many customers did we sell a deal to for over $5,000 last year or all time? And it'll tell me exactly who it is. Can you give me a list of those? And it'll give me that list. So rather than me going and searching for that data and actually finding it, I can just chat with it and it'll give it to me. I can ask, can you create an email list of people that have downloaded a resource from cashflowcontractor.com and purchased from either Anil BC or a customer of Anil BC and a customer of Benali, and it'll give me that list, right? So I can do a lot of just quick data analysis and data gathering, data collection through just chatting with the artificial intelligence. It knows exactly where to find it and how to grab it, and it's ready to go. So that's like a huge benefit and time saver where now, as a business owner, where previously, if you wanted to gather that information, you'd have to learn where to find it and make sure that it was accurate. all that stuff, or even hire someone to do that for you. Now you can just ask the chat as a business owner, where is this stuff? Where can you give me that list? And it'll do it. So it's very beneficial in that regard. Um, but these are, that's kind of the data analysis side. I think if you're any, this is why software is so important, by the way. If you're not using software already in your business, it's going to be much harder to get some of the benefits of artificial intelligence right away. It's going to take a lot of time. Like if you don't have really good books, if you don't have a good CRM in place, if you don't have a good project management software in place, if you don't have a good billing software in place, if you're not using those tools, you're gonna fall behind probably exponentially at a certain point, because eventually people are only gonna want to work for people that have these tools ready at their disposal. If I'm a project manager and I have the option to work for company A and make the same amount as at company B, but company A has a great project management software where AI is integrated and I can get answers to questions I need and focus on doing a better job as a project manager rather than just a data collector and someone who's navigating software all day. I can just get the answers I need, versus at company B, where I'm doing all the heavy lifting myself and I'm not getting the efficiencies of the software with the AI. I'm probably going to fall behind my career at some point, because this is the future, right? It's almost like the companies that had a computer back in the day that gave you a computer as an employee and the ones that didn't. That's kind of what we're talking about.
Right.